you guys, I have an exciting package right here. Oh my gosh, y'all. Oh, I pre-ordered this book 2 months ago. So this has been a long time coming. I love when books have the matte, I'm showing you, you can feel it. I like when the books have the matte covers. I don't know, they're just pretty to look at, they're pretty to feel, and I just love when they look like that. And I also love when the pages look like this, just look very clean and you know. And I'm excited to read this book. Thank you guys for joining me on this journey, and let's get real. Yeah, I'm I haven't even opened it yet. I'm just so excited to read it. And I'm on TikTok right now, and I'm just seeing everyone posting with their books that they just got, and Coho keeps posting about it, and I'm just Alright, so honestly, let me just read the little part at the top of the back of the book so that we both kind of know what's going on before I start just blabbering updates about the book as I'm reading. A young mother fights to earn a place in her child's life, but is there room for her? After serving 5 years in prison for a tragic mistake, Kenna Rowan returns to the town where it all went wrong, hoping to reunite with her 4-year-old daughter, but the bridges Kenna burned are proving impossible to rebuild. Everyone in her daughter's life is determined to shut Kenna out, no matter how hard she works to prove herself. The only person who hasn't closed the door on her completely is Ledger Ward, a local bar owner and one of the few remaining links to Kenna's daughter. But if anyone were to discover how Ledger is slowly becoming an important part of Kenna's life, both would risk losing the trust of everyone important to them. The two form a connection despite the pressure surrounding them. But as their romance grows, so does the risk. Kenna must find a way to absolve the mistakes of her past in order to build a future out of hope and healing. And everyone who's had arcs of this book have said that this is Colleen's saddest book that they've read so far. So I'm scared, but I'm ready for it. I'm ready for the pain, and I'm ready for my tears. I'm ready for it all, you know? I love how Kenna just gets out of prison and she goes to the town to go to the apartment building that she's gonna be staying in, and the landlord there, Ruth, just tells her, but she's oh, if you take a kitten, I'll leave your electricity on for a month, because apparently the landlord Ruth has way too many kittens, so she's trying to get the kittens off her hands by negotiating prices. What? Okay, so she says that she's 26 now that she's out of prison, and she went to prison for 5 years, which means she had to be 20 or 21 when she went to prison. She was so young. Guys, I don't know why, but I just have this heavy feeling in my chest, and I'm literally only on page 5. I don't know. I don't think I'm as prepared for this book as I think I am, if I'm being honest. This book has dual point of views. I love when books have dual POVs. It's the best. I love when books have short chapters. Oh my gosh, so Kenna and Ledger just met for the first time at his bar because he's a bar owner, and it was so sweet because she walks in there thinking that it's a bookstore because it used to be a bookstore before she went to prison, and now it's a bar that he owns and works at. And she asks him if they have coffee and if she can have it with cream and milk and whipped cream with the cherry and caramel, because she that's how she wanted it, because she's had basic prison coffee for the last 5 years. And he's oh yeah, of course, blah blah blah. And he's just kidding, we actually don't have that. So then she's oh, what the heck, why would he say that to me? That's so rude, blah blah blah. And then he comes back and he's I'll see what I can do. And then he pulls out everything. He makes her a fresh cup of coffee, gives her the whipped cream, gives her the milk, and gives her a cherry. And he's no caramel, but that's the least I could do for a non-coffee shop. And she was She was like, I literally just cried. I'm like already so intrigued in this book. And I'm just now starting chapter 4. And I love it. I just went and made myself a cup of coffee because all the coffee talk in that chapter just really made me wanting to have some. Ooh, y'all, Ledger is simping for her. I see you, like. Soleil, he used to play for the Broncos. Like, okay, professional football player. Okay, some pieces are starting to click together. Some things are starting to happen. It's starting to pick up now. You know, like I said, I'm starting to put some pieces together. Okay, I need to go talk to the spoiler section before I say something here. First, this book had me craving coffee. Now it has me craving McDonald's. Like, this needs to stop. And also, just the way Colleen has written DM in this book is just so cute. Like, she's a firecracker and I love her and she's so creative and funny. This book is gonna cost me a lot more pain than I thought it would. Oh my gosh. Honestly, I have so much respect for Roman right now. Like, he is really pulling through with helping Kenna. Like, he is pulling through for her. Gosh, guys, this chapter ended right on page 100 and then the next chapter starts. The tears are starting, y'all. They're starting. Jesus Christ. Like, I'm only halfway through. Like, I'm literally halfway and I'm crying so much. Like, this is so, it's just so heartbreaking and sad. Just, like, the overall everything. Just everything. And I just can't. It's just too much. Obviously, I see her side in this book and, like, I hear what she's gone through as a child and, like, how she was raised and all this and all that. And it's just, oh my gosh. How many times do I need to cry? This back and forth between Ledger and Kenna is truly, like, torturing. Like, oh my gosh. Like, the amount of angst and tension that is just in the air whenever they're together has me, like, and, like, literally, like, it just sucks because they want to be together, but they can't be because of Scotty's parents, and he's scared that, like, if he is falling in love with her. I just scared that, like, if he completely falls for her and they find out, then it, like, would just ruin everything, and it's truly heartbreaking. I'm sobbing once again, and Justin Bieber is playing on my TV. Love this. So Kenna doesn't like music because every song that she hears either reminds her of love or loss, and she's had to battle with both of those her all of her adult life. And Ledger made her a playlist that has nothing to do with love or loss, and it's sweet because it's the same playlist that Colleen Hoover put in the book. So, like, we're able to, like, listen to the playlist as they experience the playlist. And I just, like, love when authors do stuff like that because I just think it adds, like, a special touch to the book. And I'm a mess. Colleen Hoover, I know you're not watching this, but I'm suing you for emotional distress because this is too much for me. I just finished that book. Wow. Let me tell y'all something. The whole, like, I want to say maybe from page, like, 100 on. homegirl had me crying. I mean, wow, you guys. I think I can confidently say that this is my favorite Coho book I've read so far. I've only read 6 of her books, but out of those 6 that I've read so far, Reminders of Him has to be my favorite one. I mean, like, she really had me going. I literally was like, I don't know how this is gonna turn around, but I was foolish to not trust in my girl Colleen. I should have already known that she was gonna come through and give me the ending that I needed. And she did. She delivered, as she always does. I love her. And honestly, that's all I'm gonna say. That's all I need to say for this non-spoiler section. With that being said, thank you so much for watching this video. If you have not read the book yet and you're planning to read it, don't watch the next section that I'm about to show, because the next section is about to be all the spoilers that I had been talking about the whole time. So thank you so much for watching. I'll have my Goodreads link down below, and bye, you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Oh my gosh, she literally had her baby while she was in prison. That makes me so sad, because now she's like, I love that Kenna writes to Scotty even though he's dead. Like, she writes to him every day as if he's still there. I chose the name DM because I knew as soon as I was released, I was going to make my way back here and do everything in my power to find her. Here I am, Carpe Diem. Oh my god, y'all. Oh, Ledger gives Roman a mug every Friday to, like, celebrate his sobriety. So some things are starting to piece together. So far, what I know is that Scotty is the boy that Kenna was dating before she went to prison. And I think she killed him. No, I know she killed him. She killed him in involuntary manslaughter. I think that's what it is. And then Ledger, the guy from the bar that works at the bar that she met at the bar, I just found out was Scotty's best friend that never showed up to a dinner they were supposed to have where she was supposed to meet him. Ledger never showed up. And when Ledger just told Kenna what his name was, she remembered that he is the best friend of her ex-boyfriend who she killed. Oh my gosh, y'all. So after Kenna has discovered that Ledger is or was Scotty's best friend, now, like, she's like writing to Scotty because she writes to him, and I'm just like scared that she's gonna try to like use Ledger to get to DM, and like I don't want that to happen, but like I feel like she's so determined to get her daughter back that like it's gonna start off being that way. She'll get close to him just so that she can see her daughter, and then as it's happening, she'll start falling in love with him. That's where I am right now. I'm like thinking that like that's what's gonna happen as of right now. I don't know, but I really feel like that's where the story is going. Kenna gets a job at a store. Now she has the confidence to go see Scotty's parents to apologize. So now she knows that Ledger was Scotty's best friend and that their daughter lives with the grandparents, Scotty's parents. And oh my god, like this whole chapter was just pain because she was explaining about she was just like explaining about like how it would feel if she was like in his mom's shoes, and like how it would suck to see the girl who killed your your son when he was so loved and so perfect, and she was the bad girl, and she was the girl who made stupid mistakes and only caused pain. And I'm like, oh God. I've had to put the book down and just sit here and just be like, just sit here and just think to myself and just chill, because I'm literally like, what in the world is going on? My gosh. But anyways, so as she's like walking up to their house, she sees Ledger, and Ledger's like, Nicole, and now he's like mad at her because he's like, you lied, like you only used me when you went to the bar to get to her. If you ever come here again, I will call the cops. Like, don't come here again. And now she's like distraught. So obviously, knowing both sides of the story, I get why Ledger is so upset with Kenna, and then obviously I understand why Scotty's parents hates her and why Ledger hates her, and then I understand why Kenna is so devastated because she had to give up her child and the love of her life died and she was responsible for it. And like, I understand both sides, and it's hard. I just feel bad for both sides. Kenna was just served with the restraining order. A restraining order. Scotty's parents put a restraining order on her against Diem, and she hasn't even like done anything threatening to the family. They just don't want her in her life at all, so they served her with a restraining order just to ensure that that will never happen. Guys, Ledger got Kenna flowers for Mother's Day because every Mother's Day that she's ever had, obviously she's never been acknowledged, and he got her flowers for Mother's Day. I'm a mess. I just read the letter she wrote about the whole car accident, and in that letter she like mentions that one day her and Scotty went to an antique shop and she saw this beautiful ring that she was in love with, but it was $4,000 and they both were in college, so he couldn't afford it. And then Grace just gave her the ring and was like, that day when you guys went to that shop, Scotty called us and asked to borrow the money from us, and he was going to use that ring to propose to you at the right time. Ledger just told her, I'm so sorry that you lost him. That's the first time that someone has acknowledged that she lost him as well. The whole book, everyone's been like blaming her and like saying this and this about her, but this is the first time that someone is actually apologizing for her loss. Like, Ledger is just so sweet to her, and like, she deserves him. She really does. Oh snap, I knew this was going to happen. Ledger and Kenna, they've been naive, and now it's too late. Scotty's dad just confronted him and punched him, so that's great, you know. And I'm on page 283 out of like 320 pages, so I'm like, what happy ending am I gonna get? What happy ending am I gonna get? Because the book is literally about to be finished, and they still got me crying. So Colleen, when does this stop? Well, Kenna's finally about to meet her daughter, and I am like a puddle of tears. I was crying through my frustrations with Scotty's parents. Thank God they came around, because I'm not kidding you, I was on page like 298 or 95, and I was like, how are we gonna turn this around? Because it was not looking pretty, y'all. It was not looking like they were about to forgive her. The moment when Grace walked through that door of Kenna's apartment and forgave Kenna and was like, do you want to meet your daughter? I was a puddle of tears. And then when she saw Diem, and Diem was just like, oh, hey girl, hey mom, I was like, picture. Love him. He's become a new book boyfriend. I'm about to walk into your bar and be like, I'll babysit. I don't care. If you stay to the end of this video, thank you so much. I will be doing more reading vlogs and book videos like that and such, so stay around. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you subscribe, know when I post a new video, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.
Right there on top of the moon, we could sit and do nothing.